Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 158.
158.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
2 locations.
Yep, and we were asked about which one we recommend, and especially we recommend the one near Florida Mall, which is on Premier Row. And it is not too early to start thinking about holiday shopping. We're coming into the season already.
That's right. Halloween. That's right. Either store, if you mention Mousesteps sent you, you'll get 10% off your entire purchase. So
I like a discount.
Discount is good.
Yes, and Pixie Vacations, they are our official travel agent. We have an event coming up with them next month. We will start mentioning that next week.
Can't wait for that.
Yes, and the Food and Wine Festival is coming up, and this is a great time to think about getting a room on property.
That's right. All sorts of good things. And Maple Leaf Tickets, our official ticket agency, the best deals on tickets in town. Be sure to check them out. And what do you know? It's Halloween!
It was the beginning of Halloween. I was so excited. Like every day I was like, I want to go there and see if there's Halloween, but I watch on Instagram to see what the first pictures are.
That's right. We're on call.
We're on call. And it wasn't fully Halloween yet, but there was quite a lot. Like all the pumpkins were out.
Yeah, most of the pumpkins in the shops on Main Street and some of the garland was. Like there's some of that garland right there. Nice leaves. We
had a hurricane threat, and I think that's why it was kind of a little bit every day this week.
Took about 3 days to get it fully
and we
there.
Don't even know if it's fully there. So we are going to check it out hopefully this weekend.
But let's take a look at what is there.
And there was a lot.
I think it looks great, by the way, as always. I love these pumpkins. They seem to tell a little story depending on where they're at.
Well, the ones on City Hall, I'm not really sure what their story is, but the
Are they complaining pumpkins?
Maybe. Or saying good things, all good things. And then this is a fire station, and I love this area because you have the Dalmatian. It's, these pumpkins are themed.
That's your favorite. Now that definitely tells a story.
This one is my favorite. It's the restroom directional pumpkin, which came in maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But over some stores, they're very themed, like totally themed to what was there or what is there. This is the Harmony Barbershop, so you have the Barbershop Quartet. There used to be a quartet.
It's only a tritet.
It is, but it used to be
correct.
It used to be 4. I'm pretty sure there used to be 4. I'll have to look at my pictures.
I think you're right.
And there we can see some garland in front of the Emporium.
What a beautiful day. I mean, after all the rain and all the threats of hurricanes, it was the first just gorgeous day out there.
But hot.
Yes.
But that's okay. It was nice. You see a cat. No story on the other ones. And then I'm not sure what that's supposed to be.
Well, this is a great one. You see in the window Charlie Ridgway, who was a PR guy for Disney.
And a clown.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's saying he was a clown.
I don't
that would
think
be
so.
very disrespectful.
And there's a witch and Jack Skellington.
No, a skeleton key. That is a skeleton key.
I think it's Jack Skellington.
No. I believe it is telling you it is a skeleton key.
It was new. I believe it was new last year, and
one could say Jack Skellington.
It looks just like Jack Skellington. That is what I'm sticking with.
Everybody can vote. Let us know what you think. Jeff says it's a skeleton key, and Denise feels it's Jack Skellington.
Of course it's Jack Skellington.
Well, we'll see.
It looks just like him.
Listeners have to say. I trust them very much. That's not a bribe, by the way.
And but again, it was actually been not busy in the parks. Like people have been walking on to rides like Soarin' this week, but it's starting to get a little busier. And here is the Roy E. Disney set of windows.
The whole family is represented there.
Right, and one of them looked like a Disney Cruise Line pumpkin. And I think that's from maybe last year, the last couple of years. And then Casey's Corner also has like all kinds of refreshments and like baseball bats and such on their pumpkins.
Now, I had a pleasant surprise when I was over here recording this because I ran into Jim, the piano player, who has been there forever. Actually, define forever. How long has
I believe he has been there for 32 years.
Wow. And he was awesome. He was telling me, oh boy, he didn't know that the decorations were up. And I said, well, how about doing a song, a Halloween song? And he said, sure. And he went right into the song, and I'll do a link to the video, but he was great. There was a big crowd at the end.
He looked so young. He must have been like 10 when he started playing.
He is awesome. And again, he's been there for a long, long time.
And there is, going into Liberty Square, usually they have the pumpkins like Ichabod Crane in over here, but those were not out yet, but all kinds of garland and such. And they make for lovely pictures if you're looking toward the castle.
Right, and I'm sure all that is probably out now. I like how they did the Liberty Square Market with all the big pumpkins. It's great.
Are they pumpkins or gourds? I don't even know what a
what?
gourd is.
You know what? I believe it is.
What's a gourd?
A big pumpkin.
Is that?
I have no idea.
Well, it's a green,
Are not
so I don't
pumpkins
know.
in the gourd family?
Probably.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
We don't pay enough attention in the living with the land, or listen to the land, whatever it is.
I guess
now.
we're gonna have to go on it again. Maybe they'll talk about it.
But
They probably have pumpkins now too on there, so we need to go.
oh yeah, that's right. They always have the Mickey shaped pumpkin around Halloween.
We need to go.
So anyway, that's about it for decorations around the Magic Kingdom. I think we're going to take one more look, and then we're going to take a look at the very latest construction going on and some of the things happening at the
And we'll
Kingdom.
link to my article because I have almost every pumpkin in my article.
Right. Here is a view looking on at the castle. The castle stage is now open, but there is a bit of a divide between the stage and the crowd. So as you can see, here's the crowd here, here's the wall, and then the stage is way back here. But it's nice that they're still doing the shows. It's, it actually makes for pretty good viewing.
I would be very surprised if this wall was still up on the 15th when the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party begins it, because hopefully
I would
it should be
expect it to be
down.
down because there's a Night of Joy coming up very soon.
And
2
they'll really
nights of
need that
joy,
down
so
for
all
that.
they can't have. But it's at least there still is a castle show, and I
For a
think
while
the
there
site
wasn't.
levels is pretty good. Oh, here is your former rose garden, looking better than ever. I think it's coming along very
It is
nicely.
not looking better than ever.
If you
it
like roses,
it looked
it is
better
not.
before, but I mean, it still looks nice. But are you going to get to walk through it?
No. It's for your viewing pleasure.
But I don't see any roses.
There will not be roses. It's not
Why
a rose
can't
garden.
I want to walk in it.
You're living in the past. Although I've been known to do that too. But I think it looks great for what it is.
It does look nice, but it would have been nice if there was a little pathway or something.
Just think you can get pictures now of the castle in a forest.
I know.
The foreground of a forest.
All those pictures that I've taken from the rose garden, now that's it.
Are collector's items.
Well, you always have to remember, if you want a picture of something, get it, because you never know if something's going to go away and you can't get that picture anymore.
There's another very picturesque spot right there.
Yes,
He has survived.
the sea serpent,
yes. And this is the latest construction on that new Jungle Cruise themed restaurant.
The Skipper's Canteen.
That's right. It's coming along very nicely. That was officially announced at the D23 Expo.
They were really working too, more than ever, probably because the rain. I bet they were really, got a little behind.
Double timing it. And here's a great view looking down. Again, there are more decorations out now, but we just wanted to show what we found on the very first day.
See you real soon. Plus, of course, we'll bring the Disney Springs.
Yeah, this was also new while we were on property heading over to SeaWorld. I think we noticed this Disney Springs sign. But when you're on I-4, it still says Downtown Disney. Same exit, just I think because the state of Florida isn't quite as fast as Disney property and changing the signs.
I don't remember where we were going that day. But
we were going to the Pretzel Kitchen. This is SeaWorld for the Pretzel Kitchen.
But I don't think we left from...
It was the SeaWorld Kitchen and like it. Anyway,
I don't know.
We had a nice time at SeaWorld for the debut of this new Pretzel Kitchen.
I kept calling it Pizza Kitchen.
That's right. Well, you're used to Pizza Press in California.
No.
But we're going to talk to Chef Hector in just a second. He's going to tell us all about it. Here it is. Here is Chef Hector.
My name is Hector Colon. I'm the Executive Chef for the SeaWorld Park over here in Orlando.
The Pretzel Kitchen is really serving like meals. I mean, you don't just do pretzels.
No, you see, you can have your regular pretzel. You can have your regular bite. You can have your cinnamon. You can have everything. But the unique thing is that you can have a meal too. Imagine just having the twisted pretzel with the people, marinara, mozzarella cheese, a little side of marinara sauce, and I serve with some French chips. That's a meal right there. That's like a combination of two together. And something unique that is coming around in the culinary world is just mixing things together to come up with one thing.
How did it come about that you decided to do not just the pretzels, but to actually make a restaurant?
I want to be a little unique. I want it to be a little bit different. I want it to be recognized because you came to Orlando and you have something that you're not going to have in the corner. You can have pretzels in the corner, but you cannot have a people pretzel, a bacon pretzel, and Mozart infused pretzel anywhere else. We over here in SeaWorld Orlando.
And we have some unique beers here also.
There's nothing wrong with having a good beer, a light beer, or a dark beer with a salty pretzel. So what we do, we have some, recognizable brand beers. Plus, we have the local beers. These are pieces that they're from San Pete. They're really nice, really light beer. But we have the Orlando Red, that is a local organic beer. But we got the seasonal beer, and we'll be changing by the season.
So I really like these pretzels. Very
did too.
filling. They were like a full meal, I thought.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're big enough for a full meal. You can see they're actually sectioned off because we were having samples, but if you were just going to have one, I mean, I would be totally full.
Well, remember at the end they gave me the full size
Yes.
portion because they were out of the little samples, and boy, that I was full for the day. So it's not a bad deal.
And that and the craft beers, and you're all set.
That's the one they gave me, the full pepperoni pretzel.
Yes.
Yummy. And the craft beers weren't too bad either.
Well, I don't drink craft beer, but we each got one so that you could have two.
I ended up having 8 little cups.
And then
there.
I drove.
Yes, it wasn't bad. They were very good. And there's the meatball.
Portions are huge.
Meatball one was excellent. I liked it very much.
And this
bacon
I didn't
that's
try.
wrapped
Did you
in
try it?
yes, wrapped in bacon.
I've heard very good things about that.
You heard right. It was very good.
And here's
you had the chips, didn't you?
I did, and they tasted like they make them there. It didn't say they did, but that's what it tasted like.
So we're going to move on now to the D23 Expo,
That was
our
fast,
continuing
right
coverage.
across the country.
That's right. We went all across the country, and now we're going to talk about Avatar. And actually, I stand corrected. It is Pandora, the world of Avatar. That was officially announced at the Expo by Joe Rohde and James Cameron and the whole gang there that told us about it. This is Pandora, and what you're looking at is the model they had at the Disney Parks Pavilion. Always one of our favorite pavilions is the, basically it's the Imagineering Pavilion. And this was a huge model. If you look at the dock here, this little walkway, the bridge, that is the former bridge that would take you to Camp Minnie Mickey. So all this Pandora, all this model that you're seeing is that location. So you can sort of see where we're looking at.
I do miss Christmas at Camp Minnie Mickey.
Well, where do you see Christmas at Pandora?
I don't know if they're going to have Christmas there.
There is the bioluminescent. It should be beautifully lit at night outside, all this glowing stuff. I mean, that's what they told us in the seminar. We will, or panel, I should say. We will link to that so you can hear Joe Rohde, James Cameron, all of them tell you about this. But also they announced 2 new rides, and that we have the official name of Avatar Flight of Passage. That is the Soarin' type ride on the Banshee. That should be pretty exciting.
And then a D-ticket boat ride.
Well, okay.
That's the name of it. No,
Well,
it's not
they
the name
haven't
of it.
announced the name of the boat ride, and the boat. I think you're about to see the show building for where the boat ride will be. Picture a Pirates of the Caribbean type boat. It's something for the whole family, and it's always nighttime in there. So they can even, I mean, I don't know that they're doing a restaurant, but they could have a Blue Lagoon type restaurant there. I have no clue if they're going to do something like that. But I mean, that to me, that would be great. You go through the bayou there, you ask for a piece of chicken.
It's always dark in Pirates too, so it's
always just like nighttime. It'll be, and I even heard somewhere that there will be drops like in Pirates too. So who knows if that is true? I don't know that to be true, but I read it on the internet, so it must be true.
I saw it on Wikipedia. Actually,
no, it was not Wikipedia.
Wikipedia's pretty good a lot of the time.
But so anyway, you could see the footprint of this is pretty huge. They also had some of these Na'vi on display, and we got lucky. Joe Rohde himself was walking around, and we got to chat with him. He was very outgoing.
He was very generous with his time. He was there a lot in this booth talking to guests and having his picture with guests, and I thought that was very nice.
I did too. So I am looking forward to it now more than ever. Whenever we're over at Animal Kingdom, you see it's going up. They're going to have these floating clouds, the Cloud City or whatever. That looks, I don't know how they're going to do it, but at least from the model, it looks pretty spectacular.
Cotton.
Not cotton.
I don't know.
You're thinking of Peter Pan's flight. Cotton.
I don't know. I mean, Avatar is not a movie that I thought, I enjoyed it while I watched it, then I forgot about it. It was like, okay, I'm
forget
done.
the movie. Forget the movie.
I did forget the movie. I forgot the movie as soon as I saw it.
You remember the original land that was going to be built in this space was Beastly Kingdom, and that was going to be mythical, a mythical land. This is also a mythical land, so in a way it's going back to the original Animal Kingdom plans. I wasn't initially excited about this, but the more I see, the more optimistic I am. It'll be something worthy of Animal Kingdom.
Well, for me, just knowing Joe Rohde is on the project, I mean, he never disappoints, so, but I don't know if I will care about the characters or not. I don't know if I'll care about the story or not, but Harry Potter, same thing.
Exactly.
I don't.
I mean, if it really is a Pirates of the Caribbean type boat ride, that'll be a nice, relaxing, indoor, air-conditioned thing to do, as well as the Soarin' type ride. So, and that'll be an e-ticket ride. Here is the Navi herself. I guess it's a her. And again, like you, I don't quite remember the film.
Much.
I don't remember much about the
they're
film.
blue, and I remember Sigourney Weaver, if that's how you say her name.
I suspect you'll see more of them. Oh, there's Joe Rohde himself. Although I was going to say a very realistic animatronic. That is the real Joe,
He's
looking
always
very
nice.
menacing. I like his expressions. So anyway, and these are some posters they had outside the pavilion. They really did a great job setting this up. They had a really good film that sort of it was a tongue-in-cheek film
They
that
talk
put
about
you into the mood of this thing.
Bioluminescence, we heard a lot.
Yes, bioluminescence. You know what that is?
It's
basically it's a nice
like
way.
that, right there.
Nighttime.
Yes.
Explore the bioluminescence.
Well, it'll just be nice if we can go to Animal Kingdom at night.
A world like no other. Speaking of a world like no other, Knott's Berry Farm. We had a great time at Knott's. We had not been there. That was a joke. Funny,
been
not
there.
been there. Last time I was at Knott's was at Not Scary Farm, like 15 years ago. I'd never seen the normal day. And this was your first visit ever.
It was my first visit. We've sent correspondence to events at Knott's Berry Farm for the last couple of years, but I loved it. And I was not expecting to love it like I did.
And this is Ghost Town. We'll be seeing a lot more of that. But the first thing we did when we ran into there was we went right to the new ride, Voyage to the Iron Reef, because we were told it would be the most crowded ride of the day. And it turns out it was.
And I wasn't really sure I knew what to expect in that we have a video of it. But I thought everything's a little, like when we do rides at Knott's Berry Farm, everything's a little longer, everything's a little more involved than what I expect.
Right. It's sort of like a 3D shoot-'em-up ride. I guess you could compare it to Midway Mania, but I like this better than Midway Mania. It was a lot of fun. Like you said, longer. There were actual physical sets, like here are some physical sets, and we had a great time doing it. I enjoyed it.
I liked it better than Buzz Lightyear. I don't know about Toy Story Midway Mania, but certainly like Men in Black.
Men in Black, I think, is the number. It is the shoot 'em up game.
I don't know
for
that
me.
anything will ever beat that, but this was actually a real lot of fun, and I kind of wish we were able to do it again. But this had the longest line, I think, in the park at like 20 minutes, which sounds very low.
20
but
minutes was not bad, and it was smart to go. Our guide there gave us good advice to go straight there.
Now we're heading to the Calico Mine Ride, and this was built in 1960, and apparently Walt Disney watched this being built. He used to come to this park. I mean, I think it was an inspiration to him. Knott's Berry Farm.
Well, Knott's Berry Farm predates Disneyland. It's very close to Disneyland too. It's very easy to get to, and we'll
About
give you
15 to 20 minutes, right?
Exactly. So we are on the Calico Mine train now, which was recently redone with all new figures and everything. Garner Holt was there just last year to rededicate the Calico Mine train in, I think, June of 2014.
I really love that Knott's is using Garner Holt so much for updating attractions, because he's just so talented.
I love these rainbow caverns in here, although rainbow caverns is a word that sort of is a throwback to a Disneyland mine ride in the past. So a lot of this reminds me of what it must have been like to go to Frontierland and early Disneyland.
And one thing that's interesting is Walt Disney had visited the park, and a friend of ours told this to us, and I looked it up online as well. Walt didn't realize that there was actually a line inside the attraction. Like if you are on the Matterhorn, your line is outside.
Right.
And so he wanted to go inside the queue, but then he thought there was no line, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, there's like all these people here.
That must have opened up
He
some
probably didn't say
brilliance.
it like that, but yeah. So now so many of the Disney World lines are interior, so that it doesn't look like there's a lot of people.
And you just saw the train that you'd ride. It was a very small train, but intimate. It was really nice. I liked the mine train. This, though, right after we did the two big rides, we ran to Mrs. Knott's chicken dinner. We are told it's an institution.
Run some more.
Well, we should have run after, because you do not leave this place hungry. I will tell you that. But let's talk about it. Here is where we sat inside.
It's not inside the park, so you can
Right.
go here and have dinner or lunch and not have to go into Knott's. But it's nice if you can do both. We should have split, because these meals are massive.
Yeah, the all-day menu, the Knott's famous chicken dinner, is $20, $19.99. It is truly a feast. You have a salad, nice salad. You have chicken noodle soup, which was wonderful, by the way.
Very thick.
And you have the buttermilk biscuits that come with this boysenberry preserves, wonderful. You have to be careful. Don't get.
We ate too many
bits.
bits.
That
I
bread
love
is
bread.
very
The
tempting.
bread
It's
is
wonderful.
really
It's
good.
hot, and also we were able to get some boysenberry juice, which was great.
Right, it was like a drink of some sort with the boysenberry in it.
You get 4 pieces of chicken
With the dinner.
giant mashed potatoes, corn, and cabbage.
Right,
Unbelievable.
and there were other options on a couple of those, and then oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it was a lot
I mean,
of
you
food.
smartly got the lunch portion, which was 2 giant pieces, and most of the other fixings.
But we should have split yours. Just that one massive meal would have still
Well,
probably
the
had
massive
leftovers.
meal even includes a dessert.
Yes.
We had
We
boysenberry
didn't
pie.
eat, but we didn't
never
eat
even
it.
saw it.
Isn't it terrible?
Yeah.
We didn't eat it.
So just amazing. We loved it. I would definitely do that again. We learned to split next time. But, and we even had a chance to buy some preserves. We had some for breakfast today. I look
Yes.
forward to it every day, thanks to
Berry
you.
Market preserves. That's the original recipe. I think Smucker's is not the original recipe,
Correct.
but Berry Market is. So that's the one I bought.
It was good, and I enjoyed it for breakfast. So thank you very
So did
much. Anyway, so we went back into the park, and I'm trying to remember. Okay, we ran to see the Snoopy Ice Show, which was better than it ever should have been. It was great.
What? Better than
I
ever
didn't
should have
expect
been.
it to be as good. It was top quality.
We expected mostly the characters, but we
Right.
didn't realize it would be really actually all the shows we saw, and they had a lot of shows. And I think Snoopy might be over now.
This
was
is what
fantastic.
I meant. The actual, not, I love all the character stuff, but the quality skaters they had were phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do all the like that.
I think that's called the neck breaker or something like that.
No, I don't think the head roller. I don't know.
Head smacker. That's a bad. I would not want to specialize in that movie.
I don't remember what it's called.
It's not good.
But I really thought it would be more characters, and there were a lot of characters. But
speaking of characters, yes, the main reason we went back to Knott's is because we love Billy Hill and the Hillbillies. Well, Billy Hill and the Hillbillies left Disneyland a couple years ago, after the Christmas season.
After almost 20 years.
And they ended up at Knott's, and this was our first chance to go and see them. They were fantastic. We saw 2 full half-hour shows. Each show was completely different. Not one song was repeated, and I heard that the other show would have been the same. So if you go to all 3 shows, you'll have all different experiences.
They are one of the most talented groups I've ever seen live, and just that Knott's took them in after they left Disneyland, to me, is tremendous.
Yeah, they were outstanding, and if we didn't need to see more of the park, I would have seen all 3 shows, absolutely.
Well, I just want to say, like, it wasn't just them. I mean, there's so much great entertainment at Knott's Berry Farm. So
the saloon show that we saw.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't include that because we just we have so much to talk about.
That was incredible. I mean, there are so many shows, and we never left the ghost town area. Never rode a roller coaster. Never did anything else.
This was a highlight for me, believe it or not. The stagecoach. Another thing that reminded me of very early Disneyland. I always wanted to go on a stagecoach, and I never had a chance. Well, I finally did it. This thing has been running since the 40s continuously. It's the only stagecoach that is still running, I believe, in the world, continuously running. And it was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm glad I got to do that.
It's like a kind of a tour of the park. I mean, you get to go past, I think we went past the main entrance, we went past the roller coasters, and this was the only way I ended up seeing like 2/3 of the park.
Well, we need to go back and experience the whole park. It just, we had one day, and that ghost town just blew us away.
I don't know how you could do the park in a day, because there's just too much to do.
And of course, we had to do the Timber Mountain log ride. It kind of reminds me of a log ride that I've seen before. It looks
at
very
other
familiar.
parks.
Yeah.
And it was also a surprise to me. And we were there with a friend who hasn't been. She used to go when she was very little, and she's probably in her 50s now.
Right.
And she was just blown away by everything. And just also, this ride was also Garner Holt. A couple years ago, Garner Holt redid a lot of it.
Right.
Yes. And again, I'm just very impressed by Knott's putting that kind of money into high quality work.
I mean, for a log ride to last almost 5 minutes, it really is very much like a Splash Mountain in a way, because there's lots to see inside.
This was built in 1969, the Calico log ride. And so, again, I think about 2 years ago, they updated it.
so many figures, so much to see. Not just your boring regular ride.
It's not just a regular flume ride or something.
And you didn't know that. You thought it was just a regular flume ride when we went out. And I love that we surprised you with that.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want to ride. And then it was like, oh my gosh, this is, like going on Splash Mountain, but different and just a lot to look at. And it's a long, again, almost all the rides we went on, it was like, wow, this is really a long ride. This is a very generously, there's a generous ride. If you're spending time in line, you feel like you've actually really enjoyed an attraction.
Right. I enjoyed it very much, and I wish we had time to go and do some of these things a second time. And we were in the very front car. I was recording this with a GoPro, and we're about to see the main drop, which was really pretty steep drop.
It's a pretty good drop, but not too bad.
But I did not get totally soaked. It wasn't like my day was ruined because I am completely drenched, and that's from the very front. So I can tell you, it worked out for us.
Well, I don't usually, have my day, especially on this was a hot day, I believe.
Right. It was a hot day.
I would have been okay with a little bit of water, but we're holding camera equipment and stuff and trying to shield it just in case. But really, our day at Knott's was phenomenal. I can't wait to go back, and that is totally the truth. I loved it so much.
What do you think? What was your favorite part? Of course,
this was really good.
This was great. The rides, Billy Hill, or I should say,
Billy Hill.
Krazy Kirk. Krazy Kirk. You must say Krazy Kirk.
Yes, in the 10 days that we were in California, my biggest smiles came from seeing Kirk and the Hillbillies again. However, there was a lot to see at Knott's. It wasn't just about seeing Kirk and the Hillbillies. There was just so much to see here, and I wish we had seen even more.
Chicken wasn't bad either.
The chicken was excellent. Our whole day at Knott's just opened my eyes to really what a fantastic park it is.
Unfortunately, that's another show. We'll be back next week with lots more. Don't forget, Pixie Vacations, our official travel agency.
And it's almost the Food and Wine and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, MapleLeafTickets.com.
And also Theme Park Connection, our original sponsor. Thanks for watching. Have a great week, and we will see you all next week.
Have a great week.